Hello, welcome to the Retail Talk. I'm Dunya. I'm marketing team lead at Fiscal Solutions, and I want to thank you for joining us today. We're coming to you live from New York on the last day of NRF, and this is our on-the-ground live check-in about how it feels to be here, what the atmosphere is like, and what's been like spending the last few days at the show. Feel free to share the stream, drop your questions and comments, and follow Fiscal Solutions for more conversations like this. We will do the deeper NRF recap once the team is back home, so you can expect a dedicated episode about the trends that they are expecting and so on. Joining me today are our two people who live and breathe retail technology and fiscalizations, Darko Pavic, CEO of Fiscal Solutions, and Dusan Vucevac, our sales manager.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, well, good morning to you both. So can you please let me know where are you right now? Are you at the booth?
Yes, before we start and show you or tell you where we are, let me show you where we are. So this is, I hope the technique will work. So this is where we are. You see on the right side the red carpet. There are two red carpets because they are showing us where the main street of the hall is. And this is really good because this means that we are very near to the main areas where the people are walking. So this means everybody can see us actually from all sides, and this is really good. So I think we are today on the best spot that we got since a couple of years. So I really love that. So, but where we are at NRF in New York, in Big Apple, as everybody knows, a very traditional trade show, of course. I think more than 100 years already on that, in this spot, let's say, and as an important and major trade show in the world. And we are really happy to be here. So, my colleague Dusan, would you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. As Dunja introduced me, I'm Dusan. I am with Darko and Milan as a part of a Fiscal Solutions team here present at NRF. We just got here. We are at our booth. And we're doing this live. After this, probably we will network with people, got scheduled meetings, and probably some people will come to us. We will talk more about our company, about the retail, and so on.
Awesome.
The trade show is actually starting at 9 o'clock, so exactly now. So this means it's still quite empty. Still, there are just exhibitors, more or less. But you will see within minutes, let's say, there will be really lots of people and it will be really crowded. So we are expecting really busy day.
Okay, that sounds great. And well, how cold is New York this morning? Is it snowing as it is here in Serbia?
Yeah, sure. Well, first 2 days, couple of days, we were in New York. It was very warm for this time of the year, but now since yesterday the temperature dropped off a lot. So now it's I think below zero. So it's very cold, but there is no snow. Hopefully, we will be able to see some snow in New York. But for now, it's still sunny, but very very cold.
But you know what is interesting? The weather changed very rapidly and very fast. As we arrived, it was around 10 plus degree Celsius, and now it's below the zero. So it means it's very difficult to predict how the weather will be. So I hope we will have a snow as each year, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hopefully you will. And how are your energy levels since this is the last day?
Crazy.
Yeah. Energy shifts are crazy. I thought jet lag was just something made up, but I experienced it from first hand, let's say. So I'm still adjusting to the different time zones and everything, but energy is on a high level, and it's the last day, so we are going to give the best of us.
You know what is interesting? Because we are traveling a lot, then we really know how to deal with the jet lag. We thought that at least. But then if you arrive somewhere in another time zone and you really experience jet lag, then you really suffer. It doesn't matter how often you already travel. So actually first 2 days we suffered a lot. But the energy was still very high because we wanted to use the time to be really active and not to allow jet lag to take the control of our body. So that's why we were very active. But on the other side, if you do that, the third day after these two intensive days of activities, the third day you are very tired, of course. So that's why we started the first day of the trade show first, tired. But then, as soon as people arrived and as this buzzing started on the trade show, it was unbelievable. Immediately, the energy was very high, and we forgot everything about the sufferings from the jet lag, and we just focused on the retail. And so this is really, really nice.
That sounds really nice. So, Darko, can you tell me what's different about New York during NRF week compared to your regular visits, since you have been to New York multiple times?
I didn't get the question. Did you hear it?
Can you say it
Can you
again?
repeat, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's different about New York during NRF week compared to a regular visit?
This is a good question because usually in New York is so big, and if there are events like NRF, you could think that NRF or New York is just swallowing it, and you don't see anything about that. But it's not like that. There are all around the city kind of advertisements for the trade show. This is one topic, and another topic is you see all around the people wearing this kind of cards which are on your neck, on your identifying you actually, and you can immediately recognize who is actually traveling or coming to New York because of the trade show. And you see those people with this kind of cards all around. So this means actually the show is really present in the city. Of course, not like a kind of concert of a big pop star, but still it's very present in the city, I would say.
Awesome. Are there any small New York City moments that already stuck with you, good or bad, maybe?
Let's ask our colleague who is for the first time in New York.
Yeah, maybe the best impression for me was actually when Milan and I got off the airport and we were at the metro, and then we got off the train, and then we were going upstairs, and then just while I'm walking towards the street, the building just become bigger and bigger, and then that was like the best impression of New York for me so far. The buildings, how everything flashes, like straight from the movies.
I imagined you enjoyed it a lot. So, and what was your immediate impression when you first walked into NRF this year?
I would like to ask or to pass this question to Dusan as well, because it was his first, or it is his first trade show, and then I will jump in and tell you my impression. So, how did you feel?
Well, when I was talking with Darko and Milan, they told me that this was like the huge conference or fair, but I could not imagine that this would be so enormous. The building, the facilities, so many booths. I couldn't imagine that this was this big, and I don't think 3 days enough to walk and visit every single booth. This is an enormous facility, enormous event, and I just gotta say that organizational level of the event is at a very high. So congrats to the NRF team for organizing this such an event, because I believe that event of this size, it's not easy to organize.
Yeah, for
For
sure
sure.
not. I'm visiting this show for many years already, and always I'm very impressed about one interesting point. And this is actually happening before you visit really officially trade show. So it's basically the day before, as everybody is preparing the booths. Usually we are coming day before, let's say in the evening, late in the evening, around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, something like that, to check our booth and to do the final work, let's say, to make the small changes, and if we need some furniture and these kind of things. And if you enter this area at that time, you cannot imagine how it's look like. It's, buzzy. People are working. There are lots of machines. I don't know, like a small, I even don't know, industrial track. What is the English word for that? For moving the big stuff and so on. So I cannot imagine at that moment how these guys finish everything through just a couple of hours, because in the morning after that everything is shiny, everything is finished, and everything is fine. So these guys are real magicians because they prepare everything in a couple of hours. So I'm really always really impressed about that.
Well, I mean, it's got to be orchestrated work. They know it. They've been doing it for many years also. And does the fair feel more crowded, more focused, or more chaotic compared to previous years?
I had that impression, yes. Usually you have the first day, which is Sunday, always, and this is not that visited, let's say, probably because it's a weekend. But
Mm-hmm.
then the second day of the trade show is usually peak day, so there are the most visitors in that day, and the third day is then a little bit less as well. This time it was a little bit different. The first day was already a huge peak, so there were lots of people, and from my point of view, I think there were more visitors than last year. The second day is peak anyway, so yesterday it was really, really crowded, but this is not what surprised me. The first day surprised me. And now I don't know what to expect during the third day because usually it should be less, but it
Mm-hmm.
seems that it will be also very, very crowded.
Well, good luck to you. And what do you think? Are people exploring, or do they seem very intentional with what they're looking for?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question because it's not easy to explore the show. There are more than 1,000 exhibitors, and all of them are showing really, really great things here. All of them have innovations, new products, something very special, and a huge knowledge, let's say. So it's a very
Mm-hmm.
difficult if you don't know what you want to see and what is your most interesting area of interest. It would be very difficult. So just walking around and stepping by somewhere and stopping and talking to people is always great, yes, but then you will probably miss the topics that you really want to investigate because on each of your stops you spend some time and very fast the day is over. So this means I think the best way is first to prepare yourself to understand what you want to see, and then before you arrive to the show to plan, let's say, your visit, and then just to visit those elements that you want to see first, and then if you have
Mm-hmm.
some remaining time, then you can use it to just to browse around.
Sounds like a good plan. And who are you mostly talking to this year?
So maybe you can take it.
Okay, sure. So for me personally, I schedule a couple of meetings with the different companies on the event, but also I'm just at the point of the career when I want to learn as much as possible about retail. So I'm trying to visit as much booths and as much companies as possible to learn about their solution, just to see what is the big picture of the retail, and I was really fascinated on how many companies are doing different things and how many solutions are actually in the retail. So yeah, I'm giving my best to accept of the scheduled meetings to learn a lot about the retail and to visit as much booths as possible.
Yeah, I think this is the best opportunity for new colleagues like Dushan. First, to understand what is actually retail industry that we are working in, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not that common industry. Let's call it like that. And usually you cannot see in a kind of the books and so on. So if you visit this kind of trade show, then you see the industry from all different sides, and you understand what is retail actually, and what parts of the industry are belonging to retail. So that's why it's a great place for Dushan to learn about retail generally, and of course the specific areas. If we talk about the visitors and who are the visitors actually the mostly, and the people which are going around and asking the questions, mostly those are the retailers or people which are very interested in the technologies. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a technology show, of course, and the retailers are very interested and very keen to learn how the technologies can help them to improve the processes and how to increase the profits by leveraging certain technologies. On the other
Mm-hmm.
side, even if you are not taking something very practical back home, you can learn, let's say, what is new, and what you can recognize, of course, based on that, what will be the trends in the future. So you see, if everybody is talking about AI, you can recognize that it's hype. For sure, it's hype. But then,
Mm-hmm.
if you step in certain details, step in and and analyze certain details, then you can recognize that some of them are really, really useful cases where you can really make money with them or save money with them. So that's why I think the biggest part of the visitors are retailers, and of course the other peers and other companies which are providing the solutions in retail as well, like we are, for example.
Understood. Thank you for answering that question.
Sure.
And what kind of questions are people bringing to our booths?
You mean related to fiscalization, to what we are doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the people are mostly asking about knowledge needed to do the fiscalization in certain countries. And I see
Mhm.
that the visitors are even more interested in the ways how to get the knowledge, less in the
Mhm.
solutions. And I think the reason for that is because they think the solution can be provided by solution providers like we are. They trust us, they give us the opportunities, and we do that. But the knowledge is something what they need as well. So they have to
Mhm.
understand how the fiscalization is influencing the sales processes and which kind of the changes do they need to implement in their own organization in order to be compliant and not just compliant but easier and better compliant. So that's why I think it's quite logical that most of the visitors on our booth are asking about portal, about alerting, about monitoring of the
Mhm.
countries, about how to get the documentation of the certain laws and so on. So this is a, I don't want to say that it's trend, but it's something
Mhm.
which what we see. On the other side, as soon as we step into the discussion about real implementation and how to do that in several countries by saving lots of money for the integration and maintenance and this kind of stuff, then they want to learn more about the solution, and then we really go deep into the ways how we provide, let's say, that help so
Mhm.
that the retailer can really save lots of money, and post-op vendor, not just retail.
Great. That sounds good. And do you notice any difference between US visitors and international ones like us?
So I think Dushan cannot answer that because he understands and he actually saw just the US visitors. Or am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So maybe what caught my eye is that the people that I've been talking at the event, they are mostly from US and they are not that aware of fiscalization.
Yeah, that's
Some of
Mhm.
them heard of the term fiscalization, but actually do not know what it is. And some of them are totally not aware of the fiscalization and how does the fiscalization, how present it is actually in the world. So it was very interesting to introduce them to fiscalization, and I saw that they were interested in.
Mhm.
I think we have their basic problem. It's not the point that the retailers and post software vendors in US don't understand fiscalization. They have to deal with that as well. But even if they are international, of course. But if we just talk about the basic level, like naming of the fiscalization, like fiscal laws and so on,
Mhm.
this is the first level of misunderstanding. Let's call it like that, because if
Mhm.
you say fiscal in US, everybody's connecting the financial topics with that. If we say fiscal, we think immediately about the fiscalization and fiscal
Mhm.
laws, and this is the reason why we always have to explain what do we mean actually and understand actually under the fiscalization. This is the first topic, and the second topic is today it's a huge hype around e-invoicing, and everybody
Mhm.
is talking about e-invoicing as a major topic around the compliance. And if we tell them we are doing also compliance, they think immediately that we are doing e-invoicing, but it's actually
Mhm.
not. It's a very similar and it's near to that kind of processes, but it's totally separated. So this means we have to teach, let's say, a little bit, or not to teach, to communicate how we understand compliance and how we understand the fiscalization and the meaning of the fiscal. But
Mhm.
as soon as we explain that, then I don't see a big difference between US-based retailers or post software vendors or German or France or whatever, because all of them have a international scope. All of them want to be global. All of them understand the global business, and then after
Mhm.
this few clarification, we are always on the same level and can easily explain how we solve that kind of pains. Let's say.
That sounds great. And what are you most curious to reflect on once you're back home?
What will you think about when you're back home?
About the event in general, well, i- the conclusion was that it was a huge experience for me. I've learned a lot, met a lot of people. The networking and absolutely every aspect of the event was very useful for me because, as Darko mentioned, this is my first time at this kind of event. So I'm trying to soak everything in, to literally every single conversation, to try to
Mhm.
use it to gain as much knowledge as possible. So yeah, I cannot just exclude the one thing that I will be remembering. Just the whole event in general was very was a huge experience.
What
Mhm.
I think, what I'm actually doing is a ritual, let's say, each year if I'm back from NRF, and that's what I would recommend to younger colleagues like Dusan as well. I write something like a recapitulation or recap of the event. So I write down the points that I saw. So it means what not everything that I saw, but the things that are mostly interesting for me,
Mhm.
like special processes, like special products, like maybe some marketing activities, maybe some interesting booths because they have a maybe nice designs or something like that. So I write down all these topics because simply I don't want to forget them.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you have so many impressions during such a big shows, you have millions of different thoughts and impressions, and that's simply too much. So our brain becomes overloaded, and then at the end you don't know nothing what you saw. So that's why it's very important to clarify your mind and to write
Mhm.
down the important points that you saw. And think about them. Maybe you forget some of them because they are maybe not interesting as you thought, but maybe you will go more into detail in some of them. And this is really good methodology to get the biggest value out of the show, because then at the end you will remember certain points and you will really learn something. Otherwise you will also forget very fast, because brain is
Yes.
trying to protect himself from all those millions of colors and sounds and impressions.
Mhm.
So I think recap is important. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it can be overstimulating. But so, what's one thing that you're looking forward to today after the NRF is done?
Yeah, so first we have still to finish this day. So for in
Mhm.
New York is now 9 o'clock, so we are just starting the day.
Yeah, I'm
This
aware.
means we have lots of planned meetings, big meetings,
Mhm.
very interesting meetings. But we will also use the time, if there are less visitors, of course, we will use the
Mhm.
time to go around and to inform ourselves about the news in the retail, to understand what's going on and what are the hypes in the moment and the trends. So I hope to use
Mhm.
the third day for that. I hope at least in the afternoon we will have time for that. Unfortunately, I'm planning always to go around and to talk to people, but I never had the time to do that because we are
Yeah.
always on the booth and people are coming, and the day is just like that over, and that's it. So I hope we will have time today.
Yeah, that would be nice also because, as I mentioned, we will have an NRF recap episode where we will be talking about the trends and everything, that's actually interesting to the retail community about what happened there and what can you tell us more about. But before that happens, I have one more question for you. If someone is watching this and heading to NRF for the first time next year, what would be your advice?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
Yeah,
What
can
would
you
you
say it
If,
again?
yeah, if someone is watching this, like let's say end of this year, and they're preparing for NRF 2027, what would be your advice for them?
first your advice, then I will give my advice. Come on.
To wear some comfy shoes because
Yeah,
there will
for
be a lot
sure.
of walking. To from the organizational perspective, maybe it's better for Darko to answer that question because he has more experience than me. But I will just say to wear comfy shoes, comfy clothes, and to prepare for a lot of walking, for a lot of speaking, and
And
that's
drink
it.
lots of water.
And drink a lot of water and coffee.
Yeah,
Thank you.
unfortunately, it's not that simple. So it's depending, of course, what is your target, what you want to reach. If you are exhibitor, then it's of course different situation than if you are visitor. If you are
Mhm.
exhibitor, I would recommend to be careful or to prepare careful for the exhibition because you have to think about all the details, and this is very
Mhm.
difficult. We have a checklist which we prepared a couple of years ago, and now we are just adding the topics on the checklist as soon as we forget something, for example.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just a small cable or whatever. We add
Yeah.
it to that checklist, like think on the small cable. And these kind of checklists are very important because you have so many details that you have to think on, and those checklists are helping. So if you're an exhibitor, think in the checklists. This is the first topic. The second advice, if you're an exhibitor, I would always recommend to come 2 days before, not one day,
Mhm.
but at least 2 days before, because from based on my experiences, almost everybody need 2 days to accommodate to the new
Mhm.
time zone. And as you are exhibitor, you will need the full power of your brain. You don't want to sleep, let's say, during the discussions, so you have to be very clear-headed person in that
Yes.
moment. So that's I come 2 days before. If you are a visitor, this is even yeah, this is different, of course, because you have to prepare yourself, as I mentioned. This can be very difficult because the tools which we have today, either from the organizers or some other tools, are maybe not that good for everyone. So you have to use
Mhm.
on those tools in order to use them for the preparations. But what we did, for example, for this trade show, we exported all the exhibitors really like an Excel sheet, and then we use this actual Excel sheet to give it to the ChatGPT or similar AI, and then asking AI, please analyze all those exhibitors and give me the answer which of them is the most important for me because I want to inform myself about supply chain, for example, or I
Mhm.
want to inform myself, sorry, about customer loyalty or whatever. And then ChatGPT or AI in general can show you the most interesting boots very easily. So this will be a kind of preparation which I did this time, and I think it's important for everyone to do it like that. Another topic is the organizer is providing a kind of mobile application, which is really good and which has a
Mhm.
lots of details about the event. And and now this is I think the most interesting point. With this mobile app is enabling you to communicate with other people, so you can
Mhm.
network, let's say, with visitors and with the exhibitors and so on, through that application, through that mobile app. And this is really useful because most of the
Yes.
visitors want 2 points: to learn and to network. And that's why
Mhm.
these kind of apps are really, really good. But the biggest advice is subscribe to our social channels, and then you will get all these advices and recommendations and so on time and before the show, and that will help you to prepare yourself.
Exactly. Well, thank you both, Darko and Dushane, for checking in today and having this live with me. And while this is the wrap up of our live check in from New York, I want to thank also everybody who joined us today. And like I already mentioned, we'll be back soon with a full NRF recap once the team is home. And until then, like Darko said, follow Fiscal Solutions and we'll see you on the next Retail Talk. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and let me show you just for the end seconds to see how
Mhm.
it's looking now.
Yeah, seems busier.
So now the visitors are coming, and it's really starting to buzzing all around us. Have a nice day, guys.
You too. Enjoy. Bye.
Bye.